Hawaii is a pretty diverse place. You have tropical beaches, snowy mountain peaks, lush jungle valleys, and harsh lava deserts. And when it comes to gardening in Hawaii, it could be just as diverse. Some people have no problem growing amazing tomatoes, but can't grow a papaya for the life of them. And others, it's reverse. You can grow tons of papayas and have trouble growing a single tomato. It all comes down to where you're at. I want you to remember that as we explore what to do in the Hawaiian garden for the month of November. So far in this month-to-month video series, I've been sharing tons of stuff to do in the Hawaiian garden, but it's all been pretty general. But I've been aiming to solve that by putting together an ebook so that I can fit in more details on what to grow depending on where you live, depending on the season, what to harvest and what to do in the Hawaiian garden. All that will be right there in the ebook, and it should be available sometime in the middle of December. So be sure to keep an eye out for that. Now with that out of the way, November is here, and I just love this time of the year. For one, it's my birthday this month, and if you're looking to get me something, you can buy that ebook coming out next month. But I also love how the weather is starting to get a little bit cooler. In fact, I've been wearing a sweater at night sometimes. I especially like the clear night skies that we get this month, when we could see the stars clearly, catch an eclipse, and even see the Makahiki show up over the horizon, marking the start of Makahiki season, which either begins this month or late October. Now we could do a little bit of seeding this month, but there's not much to do. Hopefully, if you've been following this video series, you've already got most of your seeding done in the early fall. And now your plants are growing and all you have to do is get ready to harvest. But if you haven't seeded yet, you could seed crops such as arugula, Brussels sprouts, collards, kale, beets, Asian greens, peas, radishes, spinach, chard, carrots, lettuce, onions, and more. If it's a cool season crop, it'll probably do fine if you seeded it now. There's a reason that this time of year is traditionally the Makahiki season. It's because this is a time of abundance. Fruits, vegetables, nuts, meat, fish, they're all in abundance because of all the work you put in earlier in the season. And now it's time to reap the benefits. Some of the food that's ready to harvest this month include Java plum, dragon fruit, pulasan, peanut butter fruit, soursop, rollinia, star fruit, citrus, mangosteen, avocado, peach palm, abuse, mulberries, lilikoi, coconut, bananas, papayas, yakan, cassava, sweet potato, kalo, sugarcane, jaboticaba, guava, coffee, cacao, rambutans, durians, ulu, turmeric, ginger. The last of the corn is ready to harvest, sapote, squash, mushrooms, all sorts of greens, herbs, and spices, and so much more. You can make juice with all of that abundance, steam some laulau, dry some bananas, bake a cake with all of that food grown right here in Hawaii. I'm doing a lot of harvesting in the garden this month, but there's also plenty of other jobs that I'm doing as well. I still have lots of pruning that I gotta do. I got some trellises that I need to rebuild, and I'm cutting some junk trees around here and chopping it up into firewood. Once in a while, I have to do that around here to clear up the airflow and let in more sunshine. It helps my fruit trees grow better. I get less of a sooty mold problem. There's less bugs and a little bit more of a view, if I had one here at least. And beyond that, this is a good month for getting your tools in order, getting them sharpened, any maintenance that might need to be done, making sure that the tool shed is nice and orderly. These are all things that are great to do this month because maybe you have a little more extra time because you're not doing as much weeding and seeding and all of that. That is typically common during the summer months. And of course, you still have to keep up on pest prevention this month. It's not like colder climates where the pests go dormant. Even though it's a little bit cooler this time of year, the pests are still active. The fire ants never stop. Rats and slugs are more active this time of year. And feral cats are starting to get into my trash, poop into my gardens, and kill off baby chickens. So I'm gonna continue my regimen of spraying for fire ants this month. I'm gonna go out every night and pick off slugs by hand. I'm gonna set up traps to catch some of those rats, And I'm gonna also set up a few of those have a heart traps to catch some of those cats and take them to the Humane Society and away from my property. And some of you may have pigs as a pest in your garden. And you want to know the solution to pigs? It's a good fence. If you don't have a good fence around your garden, you're always going to have a pig problem. Get a fence around that garden and kiss those pigs goodbye. Now, when it comes to propagating plants this month, things are beginning to slow down, but as always, I like to plant the seeds out of any fruit that I eat. We got Rollinia, abiu, ice cream bean, all these seeds can be planted right about now. And I also like to take root cuttings of my ulu tree. Right now they're shooting up tons of sprouts, and you can find those roots really easily and be able to take multiple root cuttings to create multiple trees. And I will show you how to do that in a future video coming up. Now, when it comes to fertilizing, there's not much you have to do this time of year. Plants are growing a lot slower, so they don't need to be fed as much. If you're going to do any fertilizing at all, maybe you want to add a little bit of phosphorus in the form of bone meal to the soil so that it could help aid the fruit production of your plants. But otherwise, just try leaving the garden alone this month. There really isn't that much to do in the garden for the month of November. But if you really are looking for a project to do, why don't you get started designing your own tropical food forest, which I covered in this video right here. It goes over all about creating a tropical food forest here in Hawaii. I go step by step so that you can know exactly what to do. And so check out that video, and I'll see you next time. Ahui ho, everybody.